Hi, this is Robert from Retro Car Guy 530. In this video I'm going to be reviewing this Autel MaxiCheck Pro code scanner. Calling it just a code scanner is probably a bit too limiting as far as what it can perform. It has downloadable updates from the internet, from the manufacturer, and it lets you work with a long list of vehicle manufacturers from around the world. So it's one of its big benefits. It also has program modules that you can load onto the unit's memory card that lets you test and perform specialized functions on various subsystems in your vehicle. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do with it today. I'm going to be using it to perform an ABS module automated brake system bleed on my 2004 Chevrolet SSR. So after the intro, I'll show you a video screen capture of the software you use to update the memory card, and then we'll get into performing the automated system bleed and see how it works. So let's get to it. Please review the Automotive Information, Repair, and Modification Guidelines on this screen. Seek the advice of a repair professional if you're unsure how to perform any repair or modification safely and correctly. All repairs and modifications are performed at your own risk. Here is a video screen capture of the Autel Maxi PC Suite software running on my Windows 10 laptop. This is used to update the memory card that is provided with the MaxiCheck Pro, since that contains all the program support modules that are used by the MaxiCheck Pro to perform the various functions that it performs. So you need to download the software either from their website or access the software on the CD-ROM provided with the device and install it on your computer. The additional thing here is you need to have an account. So if you haven't signed up with the Autel website, go ahead and click on sign up and establish that user account. And then once that's established, you will be able to go ahead and log in here. But notice over here it shows that it is found on my D drive, my memory card. It also displays a serial number for the device, which I have blurred out here. So you should see one corresponding to your particular device. So I'm going to go, you type in your username and password, which you can't see mine here, but they've been blurred out. But go ahead and type those in and log in. And it is interrogating the updates available, and right now there are no updates available for this particular device. I updated the memory card earlier this morning, so apparently nothing's been released since then. Let's click on the install button up here, and we can see a large number of software kits, as they're called here, that for the various basically the program modules that are run by the MaxiCheck Pro to perform those functions. And there's a large number of auto manufacturers from throughout the world that are supported by this device. So you can see that virtually every car out there that has an OBD2 port should likely be supported by this particular device. And the software kits correspond to, like, AbsSrs is for the ABS and supplemental restraint system, and we get into the BMS for battery management system. The DPF is for the diesel particulate filter management system, and EPB is for electronic parking brake. You can perform calibrations on electronic parking brakes with certain auto manufacturers' vehicles. And then oil resets and various other functions, whatever functions are provided for each of the auto manufacturers, which you'll see an overview from a screenshot that I have later on in the video. But all of the corresponding functionality provided by the MaxiCheck Pro corresponds to a file on this memory card. So if there is an update available, you would see them here, and then you would select which ones you wish to have downloaded, and then you would click on Update Selected, and it would download and install them. And then those would appear as the installed version over here on this panel. So from this point, you go ahead and exit this program by clicking the Close button on the upper right here on Windows. Then after you've exited the program, you then unmount the drive from your Windows laptop or PC in a safe manner to make sure all the changes have been flushed out to the memory card, and then put the memory card back into your MaxiCheck Pro. Here is the main screen for the MaxiCheck Pro, which lists the various software kits that are available on it. Top left, we have the OBD2, the main diagnostics module for this unit. top center, we have the AbsSrs, which is the anti-lock brake system and supplemental restraint system. This is the module I'll be using today with my Chevy SSR to perform the automated bleed of the anti-lock brake system. Top right, we have the battery management system. Center left, we have DPF, or diesel particulate filter management system. Center, we have the EPB, which is the electronic parking brake, which will have a module that can potentially calibrate the operation of that unit. The center right is the oil reset. So for oil management and tracking systems on various vehicles, you need to reset that indicator or system when you change the oil in the vehicle. That can be used to do that for you. The bottom left is the SAS, or steering angle sensor calibration, can be performed with that particular module if your vehicle is supported. The center bottom is the setup, such as language selection and various other options for the MaxiCheck Pro. And the bottom right is the playback of any recorded data that was captured by the unit while connected to your vehicle. Let's now move on to performing that automated bleed using the AbsSrs software kit on my Chevy SSR. I have the MaxiCheck Pro now in my Chevy SSR. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the OBD2 port. So you have the ignition starting in the off position. You plug the device into the OBD2 port, and then you turn the ignition on but do not start the vehicle. So let's proceed with that. So this should power up once it receives voltage from the vehicle, which it has. And now I will initiate the ignition on sequence. So here we have the main screen for the MaxiCheck Pro and the various subsystems and tests that it can perform or interrogate. So I'm going to go ahead and check the main OBD2 port codes right now, just to make sure I'm starting off with nothing in the no codes to start with, so I'm clean to begin with. So let's go ahead and select OK. And it's interrogating the data bus to figure out which protocol is being used by this particular vehicle. And it should be an 1850, J1815 BPW if I remember right. Okay, it's on that one now. And it's now showing that my system status is mil status for the malfunction indicator light is off. There's 0 codes found. There's 3 monitors on this vehicle which are not available of all the monitors that you can have for readiness of emissions testing. The monitors that are okay are 7, and monitors incomplete are 0, so there are no monitors in an incomplete state or pending state, so that's good. So let's go OK to that. And I'm going to go ahead and read codes just to see if there's any stored codes, and there are no stored codes. I'm going to see if there's any pending codes on the vehicle, and there are none. Alright, so I'm going to go back out to the main screen here where the AbsSrs module for this particular MaxiCheck Pro is at. So I'm going to go over 1 and select that. And I'm going to go to USA. And I'm going to go to GM. And you need to identify the vehicle that you have so you can use the proper program to check and verify and perform tests. So this is a 2004, and it is a light-duty truck. It's not a passenger, so I believe we are category 2 here. It is a Chevrolet. And hopefully we find our Chevy SSR in this list. And there it is, SSR. So now it is trouble codes. Let's look for any trouble codes. Let's read any. Make sure again we're starting with no fault codes here, so I don't want to perform a test or a function on something I've already got problems with, but there are none. So let's escape back out to this level, And you can look at live data on with this device, which is another wonderful feature. And I'm going to go down into special functions. And I'm not changing my tire size calibration. I'm going to do an automated bleed. So here is the automated bleed function that I'm going to be utilizing. Important, refer to the service manual for more instructions. I'm going to continue. So I have the parking brake set, and I have already checked my fluid level. So let's start. Shift transmission into park/neutral. It is currently in park. Apply and hold the brake pedal for test activation. Hold brake, conducting auto brake. No DTCs, auto bleed completed. All right, so let's go out one level. Actually, let's go back into SSR. And again, look for any trouble codes just to make sure it wasn't misrepresenting that. And no fault codes detected. All right. So that's one function that I've never been able to perform with any of the other code scanners that I've had for the SSR. Down on the bottom, there is a USB connector. So if you want to power it with a USB powered source, you can do so. And here's the memory card that is where all the modules and actual functionality is stored. It's a 16 gigabyte memory card that I showed you in the earlier section where I was updating the memory card. That's where it is plugged into the device. And I believe there's also a power port on the top here for an optional external power supply. So what do I think of the MaxiCheck Pro? So far I'm pretty okay with it. It does what it says it's supposed to do. It does have the automated bleed procedure for the ABS module on this 2004 Chevy SSR. The version of that test that it documents in the manual, which is an example, actually shows some screens where it has you open up the brake line on each of the four wheels to perform an actual brake line bleed. The GM version, apparently, at least for the SSR, it has an implementation where you are just holding the brake pedal and it performs the test. So that it doesn't support the individual brake line bleed at each wheel. So after the procedure was done, I tested the sponginess of the pedal and it actually got a little bit worse. So I was a little concerned. So I decided to perform a full system bleed after the automated bleed. I wasn't expecting to get any air out of the system, but much to my surprise, each wheel I got a bit of air out of the line, which I have never been able to get out of the lines before. I usually do a brake system bleed about every 2 years and a full system flush, and usually there's no air in the system. This time, after the automated bleed, I actually did get air out of the system in each of the wheels. Some wheels had a little bit, and I think in the driver's side rear, I actually got a good couple inches of, in the clear tube, I could see a couple inches of air. So I believe we may have purged the system finally of that extra air that may have been in there the whole time. So I'm hoping the automated ABS bleed for this vehicle has been beneficial, and so far the brake pedal is about 70% firmer than it was before. Much better response out of the brake after I took it on a test drive and performing both the ABS automated one and the manual system bleed. Much better. So what I'd say, the MaxiCheck Pro is worth it. For what it can do, I would say $165, it's a bargain. It can interrogate the codes for the generic codes for any vehicle. It seems to have vendor specific or vehicle specific codes. It can interrogate also the various subsystems like the ABS subsystem and the supplemental restraint system. So I'll have a section in the video showing the various things on the screen here. Wide variety of things this thing can do, and for $165 you can buy other code scanners that don't do half of what this one does. So I highly recommend this. If you're into using handheld scanners for your vehicle, I might recommend you go out and find the MaxiCheck Pro from Autel and give it a try for yourself.
So thanks for checking in on my review of the device and my brake bleed on my 2004 SSR, and I hope to see you back at the channel sometime. Thanks for watching.
If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time and you want to, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. Please follow Retro Car Guy 530 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for taking the time to visit the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.